Hey guys, welcome to another installment of Escape TV. My name is Bryce, and today we are going to be discussing a little bit about psychology principles in business. Let's get into it.
I can't stop the love we made.
So guys, the first principle I want to discuss with you today is self-talk. So self-talk is known as pretty much the voice that's going on inside of your head, and we seem to give ourselves a bit more of a knock around in there with a bit of negative self-talk more than positive self-talk. Now there's a whole study and a lot of things to do with what's going on in your mind occurs in your reality. So if you're not well upstairs, then things may or will likely not go too well downstairs. So how do we fix this? Well, there's obviously negative self-talk, which I just touched on, and there's positive self-talk. So what you want to do a bit more of is positive self-talk. Positive self-talk is pretty much just in your own mind, reaffirming things and being positive. So telling yourself you can do this, you have got this, you're capable of this, all those sorts of things that get your spirits up. A little bit of like motivational self-talk, you could pretty much say in your head. The negative self-talk is the stuff you want to stay away from, which is full of fear and depressing kind of stuff, like you can't do this, you won't amount to anything, you probably can't do this, or are you sure you want to do this kind of thing. So we need to kind of clear that out and bring back in, you can do this, you've got this, it's all going to work out. Think about the things in the long term. For me personally, how I usually overcome the negative self-talk is I take a bit of time to take a step back and get some perspective again and start to think about what's going on in my head, and be aware of those thoughts that are coming in. If you're aware of the thoughts that are coming in, you can kind of acknowledge them and know that it's only a phase, or it's going to be a short period of time before they move on, as all thoughts do. You always have good thoughts coming in, and then you have bad thoughts coming in. It's almost like a cycle, but the idea is with the positive self-talk and being aware, you can pretty much stagger it so that you're going to have more awareness of the negative ones, and they're going to last shorter periods of time, so that you can focus on the things that you need to do and you can be more positive more often. So the next thing I want to talk about is fear. So fear stops a lot of people doing things they want to do, and I think it's probably something that crushes a lot of dreams and everything of people going forward. For me personally, some of my biggest fears are obviously failure, not living up to expectations of myself and others. I want to say myself first, because obviously you need to put your expectations number one, not the expectations of others. If you take ownership and focus on yourself in terms of self-development and progression, you'll be in a better boat. So how do you overcome fear? Well, Tim Ferriss is the author of a book called The 4-Hour Workweek, and in it he outlines a table kind of thing that you put together where you discuss the best case scenario of taking that risk versus the next best case scenario of this happens, this goes wrong, this goes wrong, this goes wrong, and then the last column would be catastrophic failure, like everything pretty much messes up, and what that outcome would be. Maybe you default on your mortgage, or you can't live and rent there anymore, you lose your job. X amount of situations over on this side as well. So you list what those situations are that can occur, and you've got to pinpoint which risks you're willing to take. I mean, yes, if you're going to default on your mortgage, you probably don't want to take that risk. But if, for me, living at home with my parents still, which I'm real fortunate to have, that privilege, I'm able to fork out X amount of dollars and stay afloat and survive. And I haven't worked full time. I haven't really worked since Toys R Us closed down. Pretty much setting it all out like that helps you identify what you're capable of doing a bit more, and it kind of removes the fear when you can see it written out on paper, like, okay, so it's only going to be this bad if I take the risk and don't get to the place where I want to be. So I've got a better chance of, I should just have a crack kind of thing. You may decide still not to have a crack, but you're more inclined to have a crack. So guys, I know we've only covered a couple of principles, That's probably as far as I want to go into the psychology kind of things. It's something I'm still learning about as I'm moving forward, and any information and any education I get about the psychology of business and stuff like that, I'm usually absorbing information from YouTube or books. So I just thought I'd just give you a couple of key points and stuff like that today that I had read upon or heard about. I hope this video has helped you in some way or given you a little bit more insight into the psychology of business. If you like the video, it'd be great if you could leave me a thumbs up. And if you have any feedback, it'd be great if you could leave them in the comment section. It's how I learn and it's how I can kind of get better at these videos and progress. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.